have an aunt somewhere nearby, Alice knew. Although Stamford didn't sound right. Neither did the Oreos and Rice Krispies. There was never anything that good to eat in the Fuller house. There was all the soda you could drink, because Mr. Fuller drove a truck for Coca-Cola, and Ronnie was telling the truth about what she watched. The Fullers didn't seem to care what Ronnie saw, or did, or said. The only thing that seemed to bother Mr. Fuller was the noise from the television, because the only thing he ever said to Ronnie and her 3 older brothers was, "Turn it down, turn it down," or, for good measure, "Turn it down, for Christ's sake." Just last week, on a rainy afternoon, Ronnie had been watching one of those movies in which teenagers kept getting killed in ever more interesting ways, their screams echoing forever. Alice had buried her head beneath the sofa cushions, indifferent to the stale smells, the crumbs and litter pressing into her cheek. For once, she was almost glad when Mr. Fuller came through the door at the end of his shift. "Jesus, Ronnie," he had said on a grunt. "Turn it down. I swear there's just no living with you." "You're blocking the set, Dad," was Ronnie's only reply. But she must have found the remote, for the screams faded away a few seconds later, and Alice popped her head out again. Maddie's mother didn't believe in the story about Ronnie's aunt. Alice could see the skepticism in her parted lips, painted a glossy pink, and her squinty, tired eyes. Maddie's mother seemed torn between wanting to challenge Ronnie's lie and wanting to get away from Ronnie, away from them, although Alice had done nothing at all, except get a ride to the party from Ronnie's brother. Maddie's mother licked her lips once, twice, removing some of the pink and most of the gloss, and finally said, "Very well." Later she told everyone Ronnie had lied to her, that she never would have let 2 little girls leave if she had known they were going to be unsupervised, if she had known they were going to cross Edmondson Avenue alone. That was the worst thing anyone in Southwest Baltimore could imagine at 2 p.m. on July 17th, 7 years ago. Crossing Edmondson Avenue alone. The hill to Edmondson was long and gradual. Alice didn't know if there were really 10 hills in this neighborhood called 10 Hills, but there were enough slopes to punish short legs. The 2 girls didn't have cover-ups, so they knotted their towels high on their bodies, at the spot where breasts were supposed to hold them. But they had no breasts, only puffy bumps, which they'd started keeping in bras just this year. So the towels kept slipping to the ground, tangling at their ankles. Ronnie's was a plain, no longer white bath towel, and she cursed it every time it fell, until finally, after tripping over it for the 4th time, she slung it around her neck, not caring if people saw her body. Alice could never walk down the street like that, and she wore a one-piece. Ronnie had a red and white bikini, yet she was so thin that the skimpy bottom seemed to bag on her. The only curve on Ronnie's body was her stomach, which bowed out slightly, like a Biafran baby, Alice's mother, Helen, had said. "Oops, I'm dating myself." Alice had no idea what she was talking about, whether it was good or bad, or even how someone went about dating herself. She just knew that her mother never said Alice looked like a Biafran baby. Alice's navy one-piece had a cutout of a daisy on her belly. Ronnie told her this was queer, and had said this every time she saw Alice in the suit this summer, which was exactly 3 times. A day trip to Sandy Point, another poolside birthday party, and today. "Who wants to see a brown daisy on your fat white belly?" she had said when Alice's mom dropped her this morning at the Fuller's house before going to work. "Vintage," Alice's mother had said. "It's vintage." Ronnie didn't know what that meant, so she had to shut up. Ronnie liked Alice's mother and tried to be at her best when she was around. Alice didn't know what vintage meant either, but she knew it was good. Her mother had a whole vocabulary of good words that Alice didn't quite understand.